Everyone, this is Elle from Here Is My Voice, as well as something to talk about. So here we are this afternoon. You know, on Wednesdays, what we like to do here on Wednesdays. Oh, Braden is my partner today. Brianna hasn't gotten here yet, so Braden is my partner today. Say hi. Tell the people say hi. Say hi. Say hi. He's not talking right now. So anyway, Braden's my partner this afternoon. Hey everybody. Oh man. It's gonna take me a minute to get you guys caught up. So anyway, it's Here's My Voice Wednesday, and on Wednesdays what we do is we always have special artists on, special guests in from the entertainment industry, and it's especially nice to have people in the industry, come on now, especially because of the Writers Guild and SAG actors strike. It's really good to have them on to find out how they're doing and what's going on. Now, someone asked me the other day, how long do you think this strike is going to last with the writers and the Screen Actors Guild? And for me personally, I said it's going to go on for a while. It's going to go on for a while. People are saying, well, why? Why is that? Because actors and writers are not being compensated in the way that they should, especially since we have this whole streaming stuff. And I'm not going to say I want the streaming stuff to go away because, of course, I'm streaming, right? But what I'm saying is that when you have network television and like here's the thing. And Brandon made this clear too. When you have like Netflix and Hulu and some of the other ones, those are streaming services. Those are streaming. They should strictly stay as they are. They haven't tried to, jump over into network television, which I don't think that networks try to jump on streaming. What happens is that you can stream, but here's the thing: once your show airs on network television, like they do on BT, and I think BT, from my understanding, or from what or from what I like to see, is that they're doing it the right way. They're putting on their network shows, and then maybe a few hours later you can catch it on streaming if you happen to miss it being played on network television. I think for me that's the best way to go, and people are still going to get compensated for it. You're still going to receive compensation for it. It's just that it won't be all the money that they're getting now, and I think the confusion is that people are saying, like, when they're making $1 million or they're getting like 1 million downloads, whether it's music or television series, but they're not seeing the compensation for it. Okay, first of all, I want to know what the compensation is, because I know nothing about the streaming, about the financial aspects. Well, I can't say nothing. I do know some parts about the streaming, but how it affects the network television is more concerning for the people that's on strike. And that's what they want to know. They want to say, okay, they want to break down, basically. They want to break down on what's being done, or how much money is being paid, and how they can be compensated. Because if they're writing, let's go to the writers. If the writers are writing for a network program, then a network program is being shown on streaming. Why is there no compensation there for them when it's being streamed? Because now you're adding more viewers. The viewers that you tap on network television, you're tapping some more viewers. I'm not saying more or less, but you're tapping into those viewers that didn't catch the show on network. So why not compensate the writers for that? You wouldn't be able to use their series if they hadn't written anything. And very similar to the actors. If the actors, they acted on a network television show, and then you stream it to, like I said, one of the other platforms, you're showing their image again. And we all know that they get compensated for their work as well as their image. So why is that not being compensated? Why was that never even discussed when you start talking about streaming and how this is going to work? Because of course people are going to be protective of their images. You don't want your images just used for any old thing. I know that. The common person knows that. We all know that. So I think it's going to go on through the summer. I think the strike is going to go on through the summer. This is already mid-July. I think we're definitely going to go through the month of August, and maybe we'll start to see some movement as you get closer to what's supposed to be the fall season that's supposed to kick off in September. So maybe we'll start to see some movement then. But as they said, they haven't seen anything like this in the industry since like 1960. They haven't seen anything like this, and that's a long, long time. So that's over 60 years. That's over 60 years. So we'll just keep tuning in to see what's going to happen with the strike. Everyone should be compensated fairly. That's what's wrong with the world today. everybody wants to, make money and be up there and get their money and get their, the young people want to call it their paper, whatever y'all call it. I don't know what you all call it this week, but they want to get their bag. I think that's the word they use, their bag. Everybody wants to get their bag and get compensated. Yeah. Which everyone should. Everyone really should. That's all I'm saying. So, you know what? Somebody, the studios, you guys are going to have to dig down in your pockets. I know you said the studios have to tighten their belts and they, let off some people, whatever. But, if you take, and then another thing too, I thought about as well. Like a lot of these other platforms, like Netflix and Hulu and Voodoo and whatever, all of the other ones are playing. So where are they actually? Where are they actually? Are they at on the main studios, or are they at other off studios that's not costing them as much money to produce their projects? So another thought would be that the studios, like you're talking about Paramount, Warner Brothers, Melrose Studios, you're talking about all these other studios in Hollywood, and same ones, in New York or in Chicago, all these major studios. Think about maybe lowering your cost and bringing all these other shows in that's being made in smaller studios. Lower your cost to bring them in, and that way you get more money and get more revenue coming into your studio. Just a thought. I'm just a lay person, but just a thought. Yeah, I think people sometimes get into high high paying positions, and you start seeing, oh my God, if this show makes this amount of money, then because I'm like CEO or I'm the president of the company, then this is my dollars. Well, you know what? You can't just worry about your pocket. You need to worry about every person that works in that studio and comes through those gates. That they're coming here because they want to make money as well. You being in a higher position, you're always going to make more money anyway. You're always gonna make more money. Pick that up for me. You're always gonna make more money. So you should think about someone else besides that. Pick that up. Pick that up. Pick that up. So that's the other thing. So yesterday, Dr. Fight wasn't. Dr. Fight had been in the meeting, and he got out of his meeting, so he was able to join us yesterday. He's having a lot of meetings this July. Leave. If you all can tell, I'm doing like triple duty. I got my little Braden here with me, and we're going through some of our stories before our guests come in the room. And as I said, because it's Wednesday, we have our special guest coming up, and Tim McGeary will be joining us probably in about less than a half an hour. Tim should be here. In half an hour, Tim should be here, and we're going to talk to him about his new single called "Under the Wave." So I look forward to that conversation with Tim. Yeah, yeah. And I was just looking at we were talking about some of the new shows that's coming out for the fall. And you guys know at the beginning of the late summer, early spring, we told you that Magnum, because it had been moved to NBC. But of course, Magnum was canceled again. So they only did 10 shows. They did 10 episodes. They aired 5 of them. And then they're going to air the other 5 coming up this fall. They're going to air the other 5 coming this fall. Okay, so I'm sad to see Magnum go. Magnum was another one of those really good scripted, shows, and I loved it. It has nothing to do with their ratings. It had to do, I guess, with the amount, the cost to film in Hawaii. And like, if you haven't been to Hawaii, everybody knows that Hawaii is super expensive. But you know what? They were making good money. So again, it's the studios who are looking at their bottom line and all this other stuff. So the other story that I wanted to get to today was Michael Jordan comes to, if you didn't catch Tamron Hall like in May or something, she had what's her name, Larsa Pippen. Larsa Pippen was on the show, which is Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, who was married to, they was married, and they have 2 kids together. So, and she's like, I think she's like 40, 48, 40. She's in her mid to late 40s, I believe. I think her late 40s to be exact. Anyway, she's dating Michael Jordan's son, and I think Michael Jordan's son's like 28, maybe 30 or maybe a little 31, but early 30s probably. I think probably about 30, 31. Either way, Michael Jordan just come out and said, you know what? He does not approve of a relationship with Larsa Pippen. Now, question. does his disapproval comes from the fact that Scotty's always just ragging on Mike, thinking that he got a bad deal when they brought Michael Jordan on, or is it that Michael is just like, you know what, this chick is too old for my son. She's got like 3, 4 kids, like two of them probably close to his son's age. What's the attraction? What's the attraction? Well, see, what's funny is that, okay, Mike, so you're talking about your son, but your second wife is younger than you. Now, I get it. I think so. Based off of that, I think it's more of the fact that um, the crap that Pippen has said about Jordan, that he doesn't want his son being tangled up in in stuff that Scotty has been saying and all these other things. That's will be my point. But you know what? I wouldn't want my child either. If a parent of someone that used to work with, that had a relationship with, they were all out in the public in the nation talking about you, would you want them dating your kid? I would be like, no, that is so not cool for me. No, I wouldn't want that. No, I would not want that. Sorry. No, no, I would not want that. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Yeah. So stop it. Stop. So you all see what I'm dealing with right here? You all see what I'm dealing with right here? I'm trying to work with him, but he don't want to work with me this afternoon. He's gonna have to. He's just gonna have to do it. He's just gonna have to do it. All right. So there we go. There are some things that I wanted to just kind of get off my chest. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you got all right, you all see he's upset right now. So he's upset. So we're gonna calm him down, and we're gonna get back to the show. Yeah, yeah. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh. So you know what I do here? I do trending topics, and one of the topics that just popped up on the screen as I was talking to you guys was the fact that, yeah, let's just go into the political arena. I cannot seem to escape the political arena. But here it goes. So I guess E. Jean Carroll. She's the one who won the lawsuit against Donald Trump for sexual assaulting her back in the day, and I think she was granted. It was a civil suit. I think she was granted $10 million, I believe. Which, if you go by what Trump says, he's a billionaire, so that 10 million shouldn't mean anything to him. But I would have said probably not, since he's got like 4 or 5. Like he's got like what, 2 indictments already. You know, a third one could possibly be on the way, because he received information from because he received information from the special counsel Jack Smith, saying that he was definitely saying that he was definitely a target, for the January 6th incident that occurred in 2022. That he was definitely one of those. And so now this what he does. This what he does. This what he does. He goes on his Truth Social, which I think is ironic in the first that he would name something Truth Social when he's the biggest liar ever in my lifetime. You've seen some politicians that that they're lying, they're liars. Some even cheaters have had second families, the whole 9 yards. But this dude, Donald Trump, takes the cake, the pie, the ice cream, the whatever you want to call it. He takes it all. This man is the epitome of liars, of liars. He like I don't even do you even know if his name is really Donald Trump? I mean, I just asked the question. Even the baby just laughed. Do we even know if his name is Donald Trump? I don't know. I guess that's what his birth certificate says. So I'm gonna let him have that one. But then when he goes on his Truth Social, and he says, well, he was just contacted by Special Counsel Jack Smith, letting him know that he was a target of this investigation. So then he even goes a step further and said, which means I'll probably be arrested, for that as well. Well, look, dude, you sitting up there whining and crying when you know as well as millions and millions of Americans, that you did things that you had no business doing, but you did them because what we've been coined is white privilege, and you have it in spades. First of all, you got the well, you got sort of white skin, but it's really orange, and then you have the daddy who left you $1 million, and then you so-called built up your. So anyway, you just have what is being pronounced as or being used as saying white privilege. You have it all over the place. You have said many times you can go out in the middle of Fifth Avenue, shoot and kill someone, not gonna touch you, say anything to you about that, nobody's gonna touch you. And you pretty much did just ran roughshod over the Constitution, did whatever you wanted to do in the White House. You even said you just said a couple of days ago that if you were to get back into the office, is that you would work on seizing control of the different departments like the DOJ, the FBI, all these others, because you want this to become a dictatorship. You want the United States to become a dictatorship. For first of all, I'm trying to figure out why in God's green earth will anybody want this man to be in a position like in a presidential position again. You know what he has done. And those of you who are saying, "Oh, he's just talking. He's foolish. He doesn't know what he's saying and what he's doing." Oh no. The one thing I will say without denying is that he knows exactly what he's saying and what he's doing. The main point is that he feels like he doesn't have to get caught, or that no one can tell him what to do. On one minute in 1 minute he doesn't want the Constitution. The next minute he's saying all these charges being leveled against him are unconstitutional. So guess what, dude? You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. You can't. And furthermore, this country was founded based on the laws and of the Constitution. You want to come in and you want to just dismantle so you can have what do you want to have a free for all? The problem is that he wants to be a king. He wants to be King Trump. And he's a buffoon. He's an idiot. He really is. He's a disgrace. And for people that I understand, like I said yesterday, I understand your political party. He's part of your political party. But if you guys recall, he said back then, he said he was Democrat for years. Thank God he is not. He's not. Oh, thank the Lord. Thank the Lord that he's not. He went on by his, but he went to the Republican Party because he knew that you all were desperate, that the Republican Party was desperate to have a so-called candidate who could win and if they could have control of the House and the Senate. That's what this is all about. That's what it was all about. And so then, so now what he's doing, so while you Republicans sitting back and allowing people like Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Boebert, while you're sitting back allowing them to, Matt Gaetz, allowing them to run roughshod and do whatever they want to do, guess what? That day will come. That day, that time, that year will come, and Donald Trump will cease to exist because he feels like he's God and he can't be touched. And as we all know, there's only one. There's only one. But however you want to call him, there's only one. There's only one. And by the time, what did it say? Before you take your last breath, when you take your last breath, every knee will bow to him. That's just a fact. This is what it is. Okay, so the fact that he goes on his Truth Social and spews his lies, and I'm gonna say this much: when Jack Smith does that, he's usually coming with another indictment. That's seemingly his what he does. That seems to how he operates in that manner. So we'll see if he does that, if that actually happens. We'll see if that actually happens. Okay. All we can do is wait and see. All we can do is wait and see. I'm looking forward to, seeing what else is transpiring. Let me see. I'm trying to look at. Braden is busy doing. Have you guys checked out? If you guys have not checked out Threads, Threads, that is the new app where it's connected to Instagram, to your IG. So, oh Lord. So if you have not checked out your Instagram, checked out Threads, I suggest you go to it. Now, I went on there. I signed up. I did a few postings, and you know your followers they're coming in. They're coming in. But what I didn't realize is that I guess when they put it out there, it was like I don't what was the number 130 something million I think that joined the date it rolled out. So I'm not sure how many are on there right now, but I was just amazed to see as many people as it was. I was just amazed at as many people as it was there because that really kind of surprised me when I saw that. When I saw that. So yeah, it's a yeah 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 yeah. 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 So everybody, and so I was telling you guys at 2 o'clock, my guest Tim McGeary is going to come up. Tim is what we call a friend to the show. I love having my friends to the show because what happens is that anytime they're putting out, they have a new project, whether it's music or acting or whatever it is, they like to come back. They come back and they want to talk to us and tell us about it, which in turn they want to tell you guys about it. I love that. I love that. So Tim is one of those people, one of those artists that's coming back to talk to us um, this afternoon, which I'm looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to going on threads and posting about today's broadcast. So far, stop it. So far, I can't really complain because uh, everything is running okay. Yesterday, when Dr. Fight was on, we had to cut the broadcast a little short just because one of the cables or something came loose and Brandon had to fix it. And that's what it was. That's what it was. But I remember like during today's broadcast because Dr. Fight had missed it. And one of the questions that I had asked him, because Kiki Palmer continues to trend. She continues to trend. And so I didn't get a chance to ask Dr. Fight because he was, like I said, he had some meetings. And so I got a chance to ask him yesterday what was his thought, you know, about, would that be okay with him for you know, his spouse to, go out like that. And he was like, yeah, no, no, no. Because just like I don't want her going out with her behind out, she wouldn't want, you wouldn't want your man going out with their junk hanging all out. So what that's fair. That's fair. And so I think that everybody who was trying to jump on what's his name, Darius or Derry, jump on his case about him saying and really did he say anything that was so horrible? Not really. Not really. He just said, "You're a mom. You're my. We're a family. You shouldn't be exposing all of that." And at first, I was like, "Oh, okay." And then when I was like kind of on her side until I saw the video, and it was all out. I was like, "Whoa, okay, that's a bit much. That was a bit much." So no, I couldn't. Kiki, I cannot support that. I cannot support that. I understand you're proud of your body, and the first thing a woman says that, well, they're proud of their body parts. So that's great, but be proud about your body, and you don't have to show it to the whole world. Anyone can see your body with clothing over it. You know, it's not. We don't live in a world where clothing is optional. Is that you need to wear clothing and cover up, and and you know, and Dr. Fight said something. I was like, oh yeah, he said, and then think about this. Usher. He has he's herpes. I guess he's got has herpes. So he was like, so then she out there with her behind hanging all out, rubbing all against Usher. That has the herp virus and whatever. He said, no, no, that just would not be. All of what she did was inappropriate. I mean, it really was. It really was. Even if Usher's he's singing and put on he puts on a grown person show, a grown folk show, and that's for the grown people. But for as Babyface would say, it's for the grown and sexy people. It really is. It really is. So and, you still don't need to go with your booty out. Married, engaged, whatever, don't need to go with your behind it. You just don't. And speaking about people putting out new music, Justin Timberlake and what's the young artist's name? Is it Coco? Anyway, they have a new song coming out this Friday. This Friday, and she's a black artist, and it's R&B song. Damn it, the name of it is on the tip of my tongue, and I can't recall what it was. Either way, JT has his new song out with his this new protege of his, And it's great to hear Justin Timberlake come back out with new music because I have missed him and I am a true fan of Justin Timberlake. I am a uber fan of his. It's funny because Brianna was saying that she was thinking that she was thinking that he's going to this will be the end of the marriage for him and his wife. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I never really know he saw her anyway, but each to his own. People may say I don't know what somebody sees in me or whatever. So yeah, each to his own. That's what I say. Yeah, each to his own. You love who you love. You're attracted to what you're attracted to. That's what it is. What it is. And since we're talking about who you're attracted to, here's my question: what attracts you guys to what's attractive to you in the opposite sex, or some of you guys in the same sex? What's attractive to you? You know, is it the eyes? Is it the hair? Is it the lips? Is it the body? What is it? What is it? Because I found myself asking this question, like, what is it really that I'm attracted to? Because I can look at two people, right? And one could be, I'm not going to quite that. I'm not going to take as quite all of that, but I can totally be turned off, even though they are an attractive person. The mere fact that they of a certain, you know, I, yeah, it's just a turn off for me. It's just a turn off for me. So what turns me on is, hmm, this is kind of strange, and I was about, and this I always categorize the kind of people that I'm attracted to. They're kind of nerd like. They're kind of nerdy. They're kind of nerdy. They kind of nerdy but sexy at the same time. If that makes any sense. Kind of nerdy and sexy at the same time. I like that. I like that. Kind of nerdy and sexy at the same time. That's strange, but I do. I mean, it's just something about that because when a guy is really good looking, because you know, I like the male persuasion. So when a guy is really attractive to me, yeah, if you have a nice body, nice arms, chest, whatever, that's all fine. But that's not the thing that turns me on. I look at it and say, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's cute." But then, you know, it is what it is. But it's to me, I think it's personality. It's personality. It's the fact that you make me laugh. I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, if you can make me laugh, you're pretty much gonna hold my attention for a minute, you know. And not you don't have to like knock me out, break me down, laughing, fall me out of my chair laughing. Although that's good too, but just have a fun personality. That's what I like. That's attractive to me. Yeah, it's having a fun personality. That's what I like. Yeah, that's attractive for me. Alrighty. Okay. I'm just waiting for Tim to come in. I'm sure Tim didn't. I'm sure Tim did not forget. See, this is what happens when you do things live. You never know what's gonna pop up. Never know what's gonna pop up. Yeah, never know what's gonna pop up. You know what I found too that's really strange. So you know when you're on your when you're on not your Netflix. I don't even have Netflix. When you are on uh, TikTok, that's what I'm saying. When you're on TikTok, how when you're on TikTok, how is it that people? This is what I okay. You know, everybody's over. Some people are overweight. Hell, I'm overweight. Let's just put it out there. I'm overweight. Again, working on it. Hopefully, you guys start you see the results. I'm working on it. But nonetheless, why do people that are you can see that they're vastly overweight? Why is it that they come on Instagram and they like demonstrate that? Oh shoot! They have shown that they have gone to McDonald's. Okay, they show in the trailer. They said they go. Okay, they've shown that they've gone to McDonald's and they've gotten all different types of hamburgers and French fries, and you're just sitting on Instagram and you're just overeating. Like really, really, and it's just not like eating. It's like double orders of French fries and ham. And I'm saying, are you that thirsty? I guess if you want to call it, are you that thirsty for attention? I mean, because first of all, people are look at you and look at the video and say, "Oh God, they're fat. Oh God, they're disgusting." And just because you're fat does not make you disgusting. Because I see some skinny people that I think are, oh my God, disgusting, just terrible, just nasty, dirty, filthy, the whole 9 yards. I see it all the time. So I'm not, it's not that, but it's just the image that you put out there. People already think of overweight people that they all they do is just eat all the time. They don't care what they eat. They don't care what they look like. And to me, that's just an image that they are perpetuating. Even though they're saying, I just want people to see that yeah, I'm eating, I'm fat, and I'm happy, and I enjoy it. Okay, you fat, you happy, you enjoy it. Okay, cool. I'm fat, I'm happy, but I do not sit on social media and overeat. Just don't do it. I just don't do it. Okay. So as I said, and he's on time. Tim McGeary is coming in this afternoon with his latest song. I believe I'm saying it right. Under the Wave. I think I'm saying it right. If not, trust me, Tim will correct me on that. He certainly will. Come on, thing. My computer, my mouse, it all just starts acting real crazy with me for a hot second. Let's see if it's gonna work. Yeah, it's gonna. There we go. Um, hey Tim.
Hey, can you hear me?
Okay, why can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear
There
me?
you go. Hey. I'm here by myself, and when I'm here by myself, sometimes I do some things.
I know. I get you. I know. StreamYard is like, I don't know. I have to go on Mozilla. It doesn't work on my Google Chrome on my computer for some reason. So I have to switch.
Really?
Yeah. So, but we got there. So here we are. How
Here
you
we
doing, by the way?
I am doing fantastic. Just kind of babbling along, waiting until you come into the room so I can talk to you about your new single and what you've been up to lately.
Oh, we've been doing so much. Working a lot with Missy. Missy's new single just came out last week, "Raise It Up." So that's we're gonna. I'm sure she's gonna contact you about that. We'll probably have one of those, another one. Um, she's doing great. I just going to Costa Rica, get my teeth done. Came back. I'm gonna go back. I have one more little thing to do. I go back next week from today. I'm doing a lot of recording. I worked with Leo Lonzo, her new single,
Okay.
It Ain't You. Samir Apprentice, Without You, Leah Graves. I work with a girl, Jen, from Toronto. Um,
Wow.
so and then I'm doing like, I got my new singles, like Under the Wave, and the other one, like Lay Down With Me. So I got those two out. Those are my latest ones.
I,
Yeah, I'm
I,
just.
I love Under the Wave, just so you know, I love that one. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yep, gotta listen to it.
It's got a fun groove. It's like, sort of an old, but I love the thing about, like, it goes like the chorus, like, I should have seen I seen the signs under the wave of your goodbye. And it was like sort of one of those things. It was like sort of weird, it's
Yeah,
like, cause
yeah.
but like, it's like someone's going like, hey, how you doing? And really saying like, hey, goodbye forever. So I don't, I don't know why I write those codes, because I'm really happily married guy that's been married, like we're going on 42 years in November. So yeah, so it's like,
I was gonna say you are a happily married man. So yeah, what was
no,
the
40.
inspiration
I'm
for
sorry,
this?
43 years. Yeah, 43 years. Yeah, in
Good Lord,
November. Yeah.
God
So
bless you, Tim.
so
Okay, I gotta put him on blast just for a little bit.
mm,
So of course, as I'm doing your research or whatever, and your age came up,
mm-hmm.
and I said, "Are you really? Is Tim really that age?" Because I'm
No,
gonna tell you something. I don't know if he wants me to say it or not, but you look
you can say
amazing.
it. I'm
You're
gonna be I'm gonna be 69 years old next month.
so
So
okay. Yeah, so now he's 68, and I was like, "What?" I don't know what I thought, but that was not it. That was not it. But you
well,
look amazing. So what's your story?
thanks. Well, 36 years clean and sober.
Okay.
That's a big one.
Hmm.
Uh, I work out every day. That kind of stuff. I'm in the gym every night on a regular basis. I've been doing that for a long time. not like crazy, getting muscly stuff, but I mean, just like like toning up and staying that. Because like at this age, you don't want to like. I used to bench 300, and like my shoulders are shot, so it's like yeah, don't do that anymore. I was in a firefight. We're all like, yeah, you gotta do it, McGeary. I'm like, all right. And of course, me like a beathead, like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And I just want to show myself I could do 300 at least a couple times. So, but so and just eating right. I mean, my wife's really good about that. Like we make all our stuff, from scratch. We like all our food, sauces. I like to cook. I mean, that's I don't know the story how I met my wife, but what happened was we I was in New York to pay with a friend of mine, and he had worked at this restaurant a long time ago as a young guy, being bus table.
Mhm.
And so it's the guy, the owner of the restaurant, said, "Hey, listen, it's Mother's Day. One of my cooks called out. I'm just looking, anybody that cooks." And I go, well, "I cook. I mean, I can do broiler or sticks. So I tell you, what do you need?" I go, "I need a broiler guy." So okay, so I went there, and my wife was a waitress there. So she always goes like, "Well, why'd you say hi to me?" And I go, "Every time you walked away, I was like, oh, that is sweet." So I can't help it. I was attracted. And we went out that night, and it was funny because her hair was in a bun, and when she came out, she took her hair in a bun and went all the way down to her waist, and I was like, and I was smitten.
Wow.
And we've never been apart. I mean, that was it. We were like, and then my mom said I called like 2 weeks later. I said I met an angel, and then
Oh,
yes, so we moved in together for a while, and then and it was so funny. We were sort of fighting, like people with all these real romantic, like will you marry me? That that wasn't us. People were fighting. I think it was just like, hey, you want to get married? Okay, that was it. It was like it wasn't, yeah. But the thing is, what we learned is we've been through a lot of things. She stayed with me through my addiction. I went to 2 rehabs.
mhm.
I can't, I mean, that's a strong woman right there. But she
Right.
knew me, but she knew my heart.
Mhm.
And I wasn't really a big druggie before. I just got sort of caught up with something.
Mhm.
And but that's a long time ago. And then but she, and I was a hard worker, and we set a we had a group, we have fun together. And so we just found out that no matter what happens, we stay strong as we stay together. You know what I mean? We can weather every storm. You know what I mean? We have faith. We're very spiritual.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So like like I have this one little tattoo. It says, "Be the be the feather on the breath of God." I love that. I love
I
that.
love that. I love that. Where did you get that from? Where did you get that from?
Actually, it's actually from a Sufi, which is a Sufi is a part of the Muslim religion, but it's like real peaceful and about love,
Mhm. Mhm.
and it's and this guy said, and I went, that's awesome. I said, that's beautiful. So it's like the thing is like I mean like for me, I try to feel gratitude every day. You know what I mean? And when you live in gratitude, good things happen.
Okay,
You know?
explain that to me because that's a place that I'm working on. So explain how you do that. How does that work for you? So maybe you can give me some tips.
Well, the thing, I have another tattoo here. It's like the can. It's called the One with God brand gratitude. It's a can of gratitude,
Okay.
and I call it the grease of the universe. The thing is, if you do affirmations, you know what I mean, which we do, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But if you don't have gratitude and feel like I love who I am, I love what I have, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? I'm
Hmm.
grateful for what I have. I'm grateful you've given me. You know what I mean? Like every time I go to the gym, I thank God. I go, thank you for letting me be this healthy to do this.
Oh
You know what I
wow.
mean? Because there's guys my age that can't do this. You know,
Right.
you know
Right.
what I mean? So I mean, but everything, like like I look at my house, I go, wow. I mean, I'm in my studio here. I mean, it's like I have a studio at my house that I make music in. I mean, I can sing still. I can still perform. I've been, remember last year we went 70 days in Europe. And I had shows in Czech Republic and Scotland and Germany and
You
Portugal.
didn't tell me that.
I didn't tell you? Oh, okay. That was even more fun. Me and my wife, the things we saw, the food, the people, so nice. I mean, we've never had you know so I think if you live in and people go, oh, you're so lucky. I go, well, it's really not luck. It's just living in the state of gratitude. And the universe, we're a vibrational vibrational beings. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And thoughts are things. And so when you fit in gratitude, that you're in that vibration of good things happening or positive things happening. And
Mhm.
the thing is too, like, like people go like, oh, your addiction, like, I go, I'm grateful for that addiction. You know why? Because I've helped so many people that have addiction problems. And unless I went through that experience of saying, like, hey, I've been through there, I've got on the other end of it, you know what I mean? I'm going, like, 36 years clean and sober. I said,
That's
I'm done with it. So, like, you can be done with it. And because if somebody's like in addiction, and you're not, you've never been an addict, well, what do you know? How do you know what it's like to be totally powerless over something? I go, yeah, I know. I was there. Yep, I'm 195 pounds. I was like 145 pounds. A stick,
mm.
you know? So, yeah, it was bad. And I was getting, like, my liver was going. I was suicidal. I was like, yeah, I was losing my mind.
Mhm.
And I had 3 kids and a wife, and so, ugh. So, but, and then it's like, like, I have teeth. It's like, thank you, Jesus. You know what I mean? I mean, I mean, a lot of guys did the shit that I was doing didn't have, excuse my French, but didn't have a lot of teeth left, So, so I've been fortunate. But so the thing is, live in gratitude, live in that vibration of in gratitude, and then your affirmation. Like we do an affirmation all the time. It says, and this is it. It goes, I always have more money than I need. Right? We just start. I'll tell you what happened. We just start us one day, and then
Okay.
the other, and it's two of them. You say that three times a day, and then you say, I cannot help but attract more money into my life. Those two,
Ooh,
those two
okay.
things, right?
I like that one. Go back. Go. Okay. So that's
The
the second.
first, the second one, but you say both. You say, I always have more money than I need.
Okay.
Say it 3 times, and then I say, I can't help attract more money into my life. So we started that, right? So
Okay.
the first day, Carol, my wife, she was, she does eBay.
Okay.
She bought this bag of flatware silverware, right? It was sterling silver. She bought it for $6.95 and sold it for 1,200.
Wow. Okay.
Then we had a lot. This is all. This is the first. The next day after we started it, right?
Mhm.
Then the next, then we went to the store. We had a lottery ticket. We won $150.
Okay.
So it's like one thing, and then checks came in. I mean, okay. So people could say, "Oh, that's." So I told my son-in-law, who's a tattoo artist, and in tattoo shop he's in Philadelphia, and it's a little slow right now because it's time of the year. People have vacation.
Right.
I said, start saying it. So I started saying it. He calls me the next day. He goes, okay, I don't know how this worked, but I just made $500 today, and he's making money every day now.
So it's I have more money than I need,
And the other one is, I can't help attract more money
and
into my
I
life.
can't help but attract more money
Into my life.
into my life. I can't help but attract more money.
Now the thing is, being grateful.
Yes.
Grateful is the grease. That's and you get in that vibration because and that's that that vibration. Um, it's the universe will give you what you want or God, whatever you want to say is the
Uh-huh.
source. You know what I mean? Everyone has their own thing. I mean,
Right.
I,
Right.
I don't really believe that God's a old man with a white beard sitting in heaven. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's fine. It's probably a woman anyway. They're much cleverer than men. So, but but I don't think it has. I don't think it has. It's just source. But I love. See, the thing is, I love to be connected to my source. You know
Okay.
what I mean? I pray. I go, thank you, God. You know what I mean? I mean, Jesus is, great. Buddha's great. I mean, you
Well, yeah,
know,
whatever you believe it, right? Yeah.
I mean, I was in a Jesus only thing one time when I was like 15, 16, and we used to have, there's like coffee house, right? We had Muslim people come in and pray with us, and they said, we want to be around people that are close to God.
Mm-hmm.
It was so cool. It was like because there's really one guy.
Absolutely. Yes.
You know,
Yes. Yep.
many many rivers go to one great ocean.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
You know what I
I
mean?
always say whatever people wanted to call or define, God, that's their own thing. I know for me what mine is, but it's all one. It's all one thing. It's all one.
It's all one. I mean, I think Sarah's looking at sometimes like, what are you fighting? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Hey, hey, it's me. I'm it. You know what I mean? You guys cut it out. You know,
It's
uh,
because the older we get, the wiser we get. You know, you're supposed to gain some wisdom as you
mhm,
get older. So I truly believe that now.
right now.
But
I think
but see, the thing is for me, when I wake up, I said I'm grateful. I know that I'm grateful, but I don't think I always demonstrate being grateful. I say it, but I don't think I demonstrate it the way I'm supposed to. In fact, I know I don't. Because
well,
then you know what? When I say one thing positive, I'll come back and I may think two negative things. So it's
right.
like canceling it out. So I know I'm not doing it the right way.
Well, the thing is there's no, it's not a, don't beat yourself up about it. You know what I mean? It's this thing you just got to like tell yourself like, do I do I want to live in gratitude and being positive and being optimistic, or do I want to be living in, you know, miserable and negative? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And what's your option? So for me, like I'm a total optimist. I'm gonna ask my wife, because like we got our house right. We had just I lost the business, so I was bankrupt. The bankruptcy was like not even a year and a half old,
Hmm.
right? Now we had a chunk of change, from the situation, not and worked out well. But so I said we're going to get this set. She goes, no one's going to give us the mortgage. I go, yeah, they are. Oh no, not, oh, yeah, they are,
Hmm.
and they did because I'm living in the house now. So, so, I mean, I'm like, and the thing is, like, and another thing too is like, whatever I do, it's 100%. And the Dalai Lama says, whatever happens, whatever you do, is right. You give it 100% because that's how you get the full benefit of the good. And every time something doesn't work out, be grateful because you know why? You learn something every
Yeah.
time. Every
Yeah.
like, what's your best lessons? The things that I screwed
Right.
up, made mistakes on, because then I like, hey, I'll never do that again. I'll never never make that mistake again. I'll never like fall into that trap again. And those are my best lessons. So if you get it, and there's one guy that's great. There's a guy that I can't remember his name now. I think it was saying, but he has this great story, and a guy's going to come down, and God says, well, what do you want to learn in this lifetime? And he goes, well, I want to learn about being, I want to learn forgiveness, and I
Mm.
want to learn about relying on myself and being, strong. He goes, okay. He
Okay.
goes, okay, I'm going to make your dad a drunk, and a thing. He's going to leave you when you're a drunk and a felon. He's going to leave you when you're 4, and you're not going to forgive him till he's 50. And he's
Mm.
like, and he goes, that's terrible for my dad. And he goes, oh no, your dad loves you, and he knows you want to learn this lesson. So he's got to be this person. Now this gets the deep, but sometimes those people in your life that wronged you or whatever, like did the you know what I mean? On
Hmm.
this level, like, oh, that person. But on the soul level, maybe that's what you needed to learn this time. So it's like, okay, so I'm going to be this bad person, and I'm doing it out of love, so you can learn the lesson that you want to. And when you get that from here to here, everything changes. It's like,
Yeah.
like you're in like the line at the store, like, you're only supposed to have 10 packages thing, and there's some like
Yeah.
90-year-old woman with 30 packages counting change, and you're like, damn grandma, but
Yeah.
what you say is like, now it's just like, thank you God for teaching me patience. I learned to learn that. You know what I mean? So it's a whole different way of thinking. You know what I mean? And what happens is, the people that that in your life that come and go. You know what I mean? You've had some good ones and bad ones. We've all had, right?
Uh huh.
We love people that didn't work out, but those are all people put in our lives for a reason. And every time we learned something from them, when we grew, you know. And I think a lot of times we grow from negative stuff that we have to deal with, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, so, that's my take on it. And I've everything I've done, like if it's music, it's 100%. It's always 100%. Like when I went to EMT school, you only had to ride 72 hour ride time. I did 400. You know what I mean?
Woo.
You know what I mean? If every time it's like, because if I was going to be an EMT and I have to somebody, and a paramedic, and then I went to paramedic school after that, right? Because that's like the next level. It's like LPN versus RN, right?
Right. 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 Right.
So then I had to go to, I did tons of ride time, jumped in hard, and I did everything. So like, so I was, then I became a lieutenant, FTO, I was a flight medic, I was a firefighter, went to firefighting school, got a bachelor's degree, got a master's degree, you know,
Wow.
so, and I had two solo records, and yeah, so that's the only way, and that's the thing about addicts because addicts usually are really like can do get stuff done, right?
Mhm.
They go to get their stuff. But if you take that attitude of like what you used to do to cop and you put it into something positive, you're like unstoppable. You know what I mean? Because like you're like, I'm on. And the thing is like, and that's the thing with addiction. It's like and alcoholics. I don't know how to. They don't know how to stop. It's just like I got to go all the way. That's it. You know what I mean? So the thing is,
I guess that's the same thing we talk about, like people with food addictions. I don't know if you heard me before you came on. I was talking about, we're on social media, and lately I've been seeing all of these really overweight people. Like I said, I'm overweight my own self, but like these really overweight people, and they're sitting there on social media, and they're just like stuffing their face with like French fries and hamburgers and things like that. And I'm like, why?
yeah,
Because you can't tell me that you're happy doing that. I
no.
refuse to believe that.
Well, the thing is, what's the number one vegetable in the United States? The French fry.
Oh, the potato.
I teach CPR, right? I'm a CPR instructor, so like I always say that the number one vegetable in the United States is the French fry. No wonder we have so many heart attacks. We just, we love fat and salt. It's part of our diet. That's what we learn. And sugar, we love that stuff. You know what I mean, right? I mean,
Yep.
everything has sugar in it. Every bread, like if I eat bread here, made in the United States, I get heartburn. I go to Europe for 70 days, ate bread every day, never got heartburn. It's
Really?
different. It's just different. The food, it's all like non-GMO. It's fresh. They just make it. They don't put all this stuff in it. It's like it's just. You know, I mean, you go to the bakery. Just it's a different way of living. Like we go to the supermarket and get a whole bunch of stuff and bring it home.
Uh-huh.
They don't do that. What do we have for dinner tonight? I'll go get it. Let me go to the fresh bakery. I'll go to and it's like everything is so delicious and so good.
But
You love
I love that. That's what I like. You were talking about how you guys, you cook everything fresh and whatever. Like over like the past like year and a half, maybe 2 years, I've started doing that more often. Is buying more fresh,
it. Hmm.
vegetables and cooking with. One of the things that I've learned to do is make a fantastic tomato sauce.
Hmm.
Because I get the fresh tomatoes,
Oh, there you go. There
and
you go.
and, and I just kind of boil them a little bit, and then I season them up. But I mix it with my pasta, whatever. My daughter says it is the best pasta ever, and she said if I ever use a can of anything, she's like, this don't taste right. So
It's true. I mean, like I mean, as a kid, I grew up with like my friend Ronnie Piazza, and his mom was Italian. My wife's half Italian,
uh-huh,
so but and she's sort of tired of cooking, so do a lot of cooking. But she's a good cook.
uh-huh.
But Ronnie's house, his mom used to put things they used to call they call it gravy, right? So it was like you have pork and you have ground beef and sausage and chicken
Hmm.
and this giant and it cook all day. And you come in the house, and you go, oh, oh, that smells so good, you know. And it was like it was and that. So I grew up on that really good stuff, So, but I like cooking because and when friends come over and I cook them meals, there's something about like when you cook and then people eat your food, it's it's like
It's
a
very
extension of you.
satisfying. Yeah,
It
yeah,
is, yeah, because you're giving them something, you know what I
yeah.
mean? And, your labor and your love and your talent to cook. So yeah, I mean I don't know. I mean I like people. I like meeting people. I have so much. We've had so much fun in Europe. I mean, like I have some good friends now. Like I in Scotland like that. I can go over
Okay, where,
anytime.
where where in Scotland did you visit? Because the place I want to visit is Edinburgh.
Yeah,
So
I live in Edinburgh, Glasgow. Glasgow is really cool though. You got to go. You got to go to the Glasgow Museum and be like, whoa, it's so cool. I mean, there's like the real Rembrandts in there, and you're right next to.
really,
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, and you see all these ones like they're what's that? The Gilmet, the one, the Kiss. It's a famous one. That it's a
um,
famous and it's sort of Clement Clement. And that was it was funny because we saw that one. That was the first card Carol gave me. As a picture.
really.
And we saw it for real. I mean, look, we're going like through Austria, and we're going to this castle, and this older gentleman, his wife, and his daughter there,
Uh-huh,
right? And we
uh-huh.
go, you see this church over here? And I go, oh yeah. I go, Sound of Music. I went, oh yeah,
Oh my God!
that was it. It was like, and that's what do we do about Maria? That whole thing, and then when I went home,
Oh my
I put it
word!
right in, and that was the church, and it was like, you don't see that, but like she comes out but there's a side thing there, and
Uh-huh.
there's 8 nuns or 10 nuns that were buried there. They were like sort of like the last ones, but that church, that is the church they made the movie in. And then you go to like to Brubnik, and that's where they did Game of Thrones, and then we went to
Okay.
Cordoba in Spain. That bridge was you see all these things, just I mean in Cordoba, right? There was a giant mosque, and they built a cathedral in it. So it's a cathedral and a mosque. It's the most incredible building you've ever seen. It is like enormous and it's beautiful. And like the thing is, when you get Cordoba, like back in the year like 1000, the Jews and the Christians and the Muslims all lived together. That everyone respected each other's faith, and they just were about science and learning, and you know what I mean. And so it was a beautiful thing. No one really cared. And then it got crazy, so it does. So, I
Oh,
mean, but you see, like you go to Rome. There's a place called the Forum next to the Colosseum, and
yeah,
it's a group of old temples.
yeah.
There's a door there. The door was made 2,400 years ago, right? That's
Woo!
400 years before Jesus, and the
Yeah.
locking mechanism
Uh-huh.
still works.
It,
You can put the key in, it works. It's
why?
I know, you know. And then the funniest thing, okay, I gotta tell you this one. So in the Sistine Chapel, okay, I don't know if you've seen pictures of, right? So
Yes, I have.
what? Okay, so it's heaven,
Hmm.
purgatory, and hell. Well,
Okay.
next time you see it, go all the way to the right-hand corner in hell, and you're
Okay.
gonna see a guy there, and
Uh-huh.
he's naked, and a snake's wrapped around him, and the snake is biting him right in the privates. Okay.
Uh-huh.
The story is that Michelangelo, this one artist, was bad mouthing him, right, and
Uh-huh.
giving him all this stuff, saying how, oh, you shit. And Michael says, okay. I thought it was so funny because he's got a sense of humor. Okay, you want to bad mouth me? No problem. So he paints this guy in hell with this snake, and then the artist went to the Pope. You need to get that out of there. You guys coming. The Pope goes, no, hell's not my jurisdiction. It stays. So forevermore, this guy is in hell with this snake wrapped around him, biting him where no man ever wants to be bit. Yeah, so it's great. So yeah, yeah, pretty crazy. But I mean, that kind of those kind of thing. I mean, you see these cathedrals, and they're so beautiful, and they were built like 900 years ago, and you go, there was no cranes, there's no automatic tool, all done by hand. Aqueducts, 2,000, 2,500 years old, still standing.
Wow.
There's a bridge in Tier. It's a bridge. Like, they're still using it. It's 2,000 years old, and there's
Wow.
yeah. It's like, what? You know, I don't know what they use, man, but that stuff was good. Because we
You
want
know,
to get.
I mean, architecture, I love to look at those kind of things. So I can't wait to I can take one of those. It's not gonna be 70 days, probably
Yeah,
until I retire, but just for a couple of weeks, I would love to do that. Just
I'm going to tell you, it's not as hard, it's not as much as you think. What we did is we stayed outside the major cities and
okay.
smaller cities, and
Mm,
because the public transit is so good. So
okay.
our average hotel room was anywhere from 40 to 50 bucks a night, which is
Really?
dope. Oh yeah, like we went to Venice and we stayed at a little hotel called the Ducal. Beautiful little hotel, old school wood but clean. No bug. Right
Mhm.
downstairs. Go downstairs, cappuccino, fresh squeezed orange juice, nice hot croissant for breakfast. 10 steps, you had a tram. $2.60 tram all the way to Venice,
Stop it.
and all the way back, and then 10 steps in the hotel room. And so we spent all day in Venice, and then we took a tram back to our hotel. So it's not, the street food is delicious. Like when we were in Rome, if you go to the touristy spots, yeah, you're gonna get killed, right?
Okay. Okay.
Also, too, if you sit down at some of these restaurants, you can have a meal and you can take it out, and it's $10. If you sit down, it's 30. It's table. To get a table, they charge you sitting at the table. It's like,
Why?
wait a minute. So, we stayed at this place, and there was a pizza place, and it was like you had the big square, and they just like say, well, the guy goes, what do you want? Because it's a big giant square, and then they cut off a piece like that, and you take it, and it's absolutely delicious, like delicious, right?
I was gonna say, how is the pizza in comparison to
Oh my God, so good, man.
the
Uh, you know, and just I mean, like when we were at Carcassonne, France. We woke up in the morning, and right across the street was a French farmers market, and they had all kinds of stuff, right? Well,
Okay.
right in front of our, which is basically like literally 20 feet away from our door,
Uh-huh.
was the dairy one. So what we had for breakfast was French baked French bread, fresh strawberries from the farm,
Oh,
and creme brulee.
oh my God, I can't.
Dude, it was so good. I
Oh,
was like, what a breakfast! Like, and and it's like, yeah,
oh,
and I like creme brulee, and I've had a lot, but I've never had it that delicious. But it was like, and it was so cool because everyone there, like, he had like creme brulee, and he had yogurt stuff like that, and they come in glass jars. Well, we would come back with the glass jars they used,
mhm,
and give it back to him. They sterilize and wash it and redo them, so
mhm.
they don't throw them away. They reuse it. They're all about recycling in a smart way. And they have like things like you go to the store. You have bottles, and they have different ones. There's green bottles and there's brown bottles because there's something about the lead, so they're different. But you put
Mhm.
them in, and then you get like a little money back, so you can use it in your groceries. So again, not wasted. I mean,
Wow, that is so amazing. I mean, why can't we figure out some of those things over here?
why
That's
can't we have a train over here that's like nice? I mean, their trains are beautiful. I mean, you go like in some of these trains, you're going like 250 miles an hour, and you don't even know it. It's like smooth. Well, maybe not like 200 miles an hour. I think like 300 kilometers, but they're straight,
oh
right?
Lord.
And it's like, and you don't feel a bump. And then some of these trains, like when you go over there, your rail pass. We did the first time. We've been over there 3 times. First time and then we got cars. This,
Mhm.
the last time we got this car, okay. Now I don't know if you rented a car lately, but listen to this. We rented a car for 70 days. Right. It was a Mercedes Benz, full tilt, everything.
Uh-huh.
Right. Okay. We had it. Now we only got. They gave us. We only supposed to drive 5,500 miles. Anything over that we had to pay. We drove 7,200. They paid.
Oh,
They paid for all the tolls in France in the garages, right?
okay, okay.
It was $2,500 for 2.5 months. That's like 250 a week for Mercedes.
Wow, for a Mercedes.
I mean, I went to Nashville and got a Spark for 3.5 days. It was $400.
Yeah.
A Spark. You know what a Spark is? It's like the
Yeah,
grandma of the
the
phone car.
little hatchback, little hump little thing.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's the time my wife goes, "You got in that thing?" I go, "Yeah." It's like I'm driving like it's just, look, it's nothing. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you ever want to go, you want to drive, and the thing is, it's the same. And Europe is the same side of the road as us.
Oh, it is. Okay. Okay. That
Now,
makes me feel
now
better.
that's not in England and Ireland. Ireland and England and Scotland. It's the other side of the road. But the rest of Europe is just like us, so we're all good. So it's not
Oh,
hard,
man.
you know.
I'm
And
taking a trip literally through Tim's vacation because I'm
yeah,
just imagining. I mean, everything you talk about is things that I want to see, that I want to go and just take a trip and
yeah.
just enjoy myself.
I just think it's just so great to see parts of the world, and people are so nice. The thing is, like wor- le- learn the word for thank you. Like in Portugal, it's obrigada. Obrigada. That's the word for thank you. And
Okay.
and they have these little things. What are they called? They're little pastry things. Oh, I can't remember the name they call them, but they were so delicious. But the food there is great. It's delicious. When I was in Greece,
Oh Lord, now you went to now you've gone to Greece. Now you're just killing me.
oh, remember I was a merchant marine before that, when I was 19 to 21. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I've been to Djibouti, Sudan, Mogadiscio, Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, Colombo, all those
Woo.
Eastern Africans, Jordan,
Hmm.
Sudan. So I've been to all that places when I was real young, and then then we had a lot of South American stuff. So I did a lot of world traveling, and I think every time I go, no matter what the country, like Bangladesh was super poor, but there's always something you can find beautiful about it. Every country they have something that's like special. You know what I mean? That like you can find some beauty, some positive thing about it. So but and Europe, like people go like, oh, French people don't like Americans. No, they don't like idiot Americans. They like nice Americans. You know, if you're nice and you say merci, thank you, I mean, in Spain, gracias, like I mean, learn
Uh-huh.
hello and thank you. I mean, like it's and it's a small thing, and you can, um, it's a little bit of the language. They like that. It's like, okay, you tried. It's good. We're good. You know what I mean? And you're polite. They're nice. I mean, we used that one time we were in France. Now in France, if you go to France, okay, if you want to eat, you have to eat before 2 o'clock, or you don't get to eat till 7. The restaurants close at 2, and they don't open up to 7.
Oh
That's
wow.
so yeah. So we're driving the car. I said, listen, let's get something to eat because we're gonna be hungry. So we stopped at this little place, and there's a guy there. He was French, and it's like we started talking, and it's just really nice. And we just had a great he bought us lunch, and it was like 50 francs. It was like it's a lot of money. It was like or 50 euros. It's like big. it was a lot of money. I was like, no, don't buy me. No, we're good. He goes, no, 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 I'm buying you lunch. And this place is so cool. This guy made these like ham hock things. They were like big, and he cooked it for like 16 hours. So it's like you hit the bones, go. Whoop.
Yeah, right, 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 right.
Oh my God, it was so delicious. Like, oh, that, like fresh vegetables and a salad. Yeah. So I mean, so the moral of the story is like you're not. I mean, we were in Montenegro, and we were going to France. Now we weren't supposed to drive in those. We didn't. They never told us we were supposed to drive in this car or not, but we did anyway. So, but we're there, and the guy goes, "Hey, we got to the water crossing." He goes, guys, he goes, "We can't let you through because you don't have the original registration. I know you're in a rental car. Of course, you don't have
Okay.
it."
Hmm.
So another guy comes over and he goes, "Listen, he's a captain. We get more stripes." And he goes, "Hey, listen, we like Americans. I know you don't have the original because you're in a rental car. Of course, you don't have a rental.
Hmm.
Let me see what I can do." So he gets on his phone. He comes back. He goes, "Listen, I'm gonna let you through, but tomorrow you have to go through Albania, right, to get to Greece.
Uh-oh.
They're way stricter than us. But my best friend is a border guard. I told him you're coming through, and
Mhm.
he's letting you through, and he
Okay.
did, and he did." Did. I was going like everyone's like totally amazed. What'd you give him? He wouldn't take anything. I go, you sure? I was gonna
I,
give him.
I am one of those people that says, you know what, yeah, be polite. Say thank you, excuse me. It just amazes me how people in this country are so rude that it makes me crazy. I mean, you just can't say excuse me, please, thank you. It's just always something negative. I don't know what it is. So I think they take that over. When they go out of the country, people are like, oh, rude, nasty Americans, or
Right. Well, I mean, it's like we were in Switzerland. It was like there was some these are
oh
GIs
my
and
God, you're going to Switzerland too. You're killing me this afternoon. You're just killing me.
oh, oh, you
God.
got to see that the
Oh
water in Switzerland up the mountain is like this blue that you never saw before. Also, I'm going to
my.
Costa Rica. Costa Rica, same thing. That comes at they have these um, uh, there's waterfalls, and you see the water comes off this mountain. These are basically volcanoes that are dead,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
but the water comes out and it's crystal blue. It's delicious. It's just like it's amazing. I mean, the when you see the Mediterranean, it's a different color blue. It's weird. It's like a dark, like purpley blue. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. I mean, yeah. So yeah, you gotta go. I mean, I tell you, like, you need to travel because it's such good. It's so good to see that stuff. See that part of the world. See what man has made. See how the other laugh. How people live.
Hmm.
See how the food is. Because we can learn. We can take some of that back, some of that stuff back here. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know. So I'm.
I mean, Greece is one of my favorite places I want to visit as well.
Oh yeah.
That would be like my first. If I had to choose, Greece would be my first.
Well, we had. I mean, the Acropolis is amazing.
Hmm.
Pantheon, it's great. Athens is like just a city, so if you like New York City, you know what I mean, like that.
Yeah,
Well,
not that
I
big.
grew up there. It's sort of a city. It's like it's not
Okay.
okay. But what we did is we went out. Well, so we were going to stay an extra day in Athens, and my wife got this hotel,
Uh-huh.
and she's very frugal, right? Because we're on a long trip, right? So I'm sitting trying to get lunch, and I walk, and a prostitute and a John walks by.
Okay.
And then another prostitute. This is 10 in the morning. And then another one. I go, we're not staying here. The guy goes, why not? He goes, I'm not putting my wife and me in a bed that you rent by the hour. I'm sorry. So, we- so, so we went to the Kalamata, and then went to Stupa, and then we stayed in a little place called Akruti, and it was like this is like it was the last couple of days, and
Uh-huh.
we had a beautiful hotel on the beach,
Hmm.
breakfast included, and it was $42 a night. It's like
Good. That sounds unbelievable. That
right.
sounds just
It was,
unbelievable.
and then like so, and and then you have the Aegean Sea, which is even
Oh my God. Okay.
one of the most cleanest
Yeah.
waters there is,
Hmm.
and it's beautiful. It's so fun, So and they had a Roman like a mud bath thing, so it's like that, that sulfur black mud, and
Yes.
so you go
Yes.
down, you put it all over your body, let it sit there and dry off, and then you wash it off, and your skin is like silk. Oh,
Oh.
oh, it's so nice. So we did that, yeah.
He has just made me so. It's like I'm just relaxed talking to him about his vacation. That I am just dying to go on.
Well, but the thing is, like, you don't have to spend a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, I think what we did in 70 days, my friend cost him like he did in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Same price. And we went to so many countries and saw so many beautiful things. You know, now also too, I had shows there. So
Did
I
you
got
each go from country to country where you guys were? Where did you start at? And was it easy just to go from one country to
well,
another?
we usually fly to Madrid. It's usually the
Okay.
cheapest one. We can usually get a round trip ticket for like between $500 and $600. You know what I mean? Round
To
trip.
Madrid?
Yeah, but the thing is, and then when you're over there, there's an airline called Ryanair, right?
Okay.
So and I had two shows in Scotland, and we were in Belgium. So my wife and I, both of us, flew from Belgium to Scotland and Scotland back to Belgium, and for
Okay.
both of us, it was $99.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
We went to Marrakesh, Morocco from Madrid. It was $34. So it's like $70, each. So
I can't believe that. I mean, because I'm kind of cheap. Well, my daughter says, "Man, you just cheap," and I'm not cheap on some things, but that sounds really great for me. All those products sound really, really great for me because when we
once you
shop, I'm like, oh my God! You anytime you buy going to travel, you buy a hotel around here, you're paying a couple $100 a night.
Exactly. It is. I mean, it's like you can find that, like, and there's Airbnbs that we went at, and they were very nice. Like, well, I was really funny. One time we were in Gorzio, Italy, which is right on the Slovenia, and we had this beautiful. It was clean as it was spotlessly clean. It was beautiful. You know what I mean? The lady was so sweet. She brought us she brought us some rolls and some sausage and cheese. Sweet, sweet, sweet woman. But so Carol, we wake up and Carol like goes like, "There's a scorpion in here," and he goes, "I gotta take a picture of it." And I go, "All right, I'll go get a picture of it." So he takes a picture of it, and I'm gonna go get it. We can't find it. So we know it's in the room the whole time. We're like, "Whoa!" Emptied everything out. Make sure we didn't want to carry no scorpion with us. On our,
I know. Oh my God.
so yeah, but there's some funny stuff.
So
But
you did all these things while you were promoting your music and just playing at
yeah,
different venues.
I had different house concerts and stuff, and a couple of just pickup gigs. Like the one in Czech Republic, the one place, I told the guy I was a musician, I was a singer, and people go, oh. And so he got all these people together, like in this small town. It was a little hotel, and I had a little tiny traveling guitar.
Hmm.
And you really you need to sort of plug it in, but you can actually listen to it. But I mean, if you plug it in, so he had this, I don't know, this PA he had, it worked, it plugged in. And I played the show, and these people, like 25 people were there. It was great, and it was funny because I have this one song called Three Shots of Whiskey, and the refrain is 2 shots of gin.
Uh-huh.
So there was about, so I was like, I did and I make them sing 2 shots of gin. They were singing 2 shots of gin. Now I know out of the 25 people there, 5 people spoke English. The other 20 had no clue,
Uh-huh.
but they were singing it anyway. So they're having a great time. So it was great. And then and Portugal is another pickup gig, but the one in Germany was like, it's beautiful. Like this was an old German farmhouse, and they took this barn and made it like they do weddings there and all kind of stuff. It's beautiful.
Okay. All
So
right.
it's cool. And but it was so great. This guy like makes all his own sausage. She makes all her fresh bread. So
Uh,
like we're eating breakfast there, and they're like, yes, let's go and
uh,
yes. And we stayed there for and it's free. So and then we Hanover's there, so we took the bus into the city, and we traveled around. Then we came back, and then we did the show that night, and then so that and those are days. So I made money and got paid and was free to eat and free to stay. So it was
mhm.
great. Same thing in Scotland. We had a friend. Um, uh, and these are some of the DJs I'm working with, like Kenny Quigley and Murray McIntosh and stuff. And these are guys, so I have a place to stay when I go there, so it's really
Okay.
great. So it's fun. I mean, what I've been doing, like with the podcast with you, and I work a lot of DJ. Like I did a podcast the other day with this lady, and she had this video on of American Made. And it's like, and so when it was done, I go, hey, thanks for putting that video together. She goes, I didn't put that together. I go, what? Who did? Somebody just heard this song and went, they liked it. And I did a show for a station in Wyoming, 96.5, and the guy heard it, and he put a whole video with my pictures in it. I'm like,
Oh wow.
how do you get my pictures? Where do you get them from? I don't know. I think he saw videos and did like some stills or something. So it's crazy. So yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's cool when you can write a song that that will touch people. You know what I mean? It can be fun, it can be sexy, it can be sad, it could, whatever. But it gets some kind of emotion.
What?
America.
So, what was your inspiration for Under the Wave? What was your inspiration for that?
I can't even. Somebody's asked me that. I have no idea. The thing is so, remember the Fine Young Cannibals? She drives me crazy. Remember that
Yes,
song?
yes, 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 yes.
So I had, and then remember the band Little River Band? You remember that
Yep.
band? Yeah,
I,
okay.
yep.
So I said, okay, this song reminds me of Fine Young Cannibals meets the Little River Band, which
Never,
which has never been said in one sentence ever in the history of music.
never.
So, but I thought it was sort of cool because that chorus comes in, and I should have seen the sign, that 6 part harmony, coming in like that, and it's like, and it reminds me because I did some shows with those guys, Little River Band, a couple times, and I did one when we did it was an acoustic show. Two of the guys from Scary Hannon who wrote, some big hit songs, the guys from Little Band and me, and we did an acoustic show for a couple hours. It was great, and of course they do like, they play their hits, and it's like, oh, the lonesome loser, and you're just like, yeah, and I'm singing harmony with them. It's like, yeah, it's awesome. So, I mean, so I don't, I think I just try to do something that's a little bit different. I just had this thing. I don't know where under the way, but I just thought it was a different way of saying like, so the person's giving you sort of like the bye, but he's under the wave of your goodbye. I should have seen under the wave of your goodbye. You know what I mean?
I love, I love what you described that though. I love it. It was something different from you that I thought was different than what you normally would create.
Right.
But I loved it though.
Yeah.
Do you think that the fact that you record with a lot of females? First of all, your wife has to be very comfortable with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have this thing like, I I work with females. I had 5 sisters, remember?
Oh God. Okay, you're the only guy, the only boy.
No, 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 no. No, it was 10 kids. I was the oldest of 10.
Oh,
Five
okay.
boys, 5 girls. But the thing is, I relate to girls a lot. You know what I mean? I write with guys too. But for some reason, like there's a lot of like this one girl, her name is Lockwood Barr, and every time we wrote together, it was like that's like what's going on in my life. And I didn't talk to her about it.
Okay.
It was something I get, and we write this song, and there's one called 6 Feet Deep, which is funny, and no one's gonna mind it when you're 6 feet deep. It's funny. It's like, killing the guy, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like Leo Alonso. We wrote a song called Found, which is about her, some of the things that she went through and the death of her mother.
Okay.
And so just happened to, do this thing. And then we had another one called It Ain't You. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And it's about a breakup. So, and she's sort of like the hot mess chick. I'll give you the lyrics, but I don't know if I'll give you one lyric, and I don't know, but I'm just gonna say this: a female wrote it. Okay, so but the chorus is like someone's coming on top, and it ain't you. So,
Oh.
yeah, one of those. Yeah.
Okay.
You know. So yeah, so she's like, yeah, she's sort of a hot mess, but she's very funny. And she lives in Mexico, and she goes to New York. So she plays in Europe, New York, and Mexico. There's a lot of stuff down there, but she's really nice, and so. But that was like we just happened to write a song that helped her with that breakup. You know what I mean? And this guy was like, he's sort of mean to her, till like, he was kind of that like, the controlling type, and then after he didn't get his way, then he got mean. You know what I mean? How
Oh,
people,
okay.
how they turn on you. It's like narcissistic, that kind of stuff. So and I do write a lot of emails, but my wife knows that, like, like I'm gonna say it, like especially like in Nashville, if you're out with a female and you try to do something with something like that, like you try to make,
Mhm.
your reputation is done.
Really?
You're done. Yeah, I mean, like no one's. Goes around. Everyone knows you're an asshole. And excuse my French, but like, you're not. Do not trust.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like that. And so, I make it a point, like not ever getting close to that at all. You know what I mean? But I have fun. Like I mean, I like people. So like, and my wife knows I love her, and I'm not going to cheat on her. I mean, listen, how can I cheat on a woman that went through all the things that we went through? How could I do that to her? And it's never worth it. I mean, I watch these guys, firemen and policemen, like, because they're macho, and,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
then now half their retirement is gone to their wife, you know, and,
That's beautiful.
and I'm thinking like, I hope that was worth it, man. You know what I mean? But I'm sorry, there ain't. it's just I don't know. I just it's not worth it. It's not worth So I would
You
never do that.
should give a class. You should teach a class to guys
Well, it's just I
who
mean some guy.
stray.
I mean some women think there was some lady on TikTok. She's like, yeah, you should let your wife go with other women. You know, like
What?
what? Yeah, I go like, my wife's Italian from Philadelphia. You know what I mean? I, I'd lose some of my anatomy if I did. If I put it the nicest way I can, you know what I mean? But no, I mean, I just see people the stupid stuff that I've watched them do and watch them ruin their lives. You know what I mean? And and the way they hurt people and the kids and the family. How do you trust?
Yeah,
What do you teach your children?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just not worth it, man. So, so I don't know. But but and we, and now it's like the best time. Just my daughter. Okay, my one daughter, my daughters lived away, but my one daughter, the middle one, she had her own place for 7 years, her and her husband. But during a flood, they rented it. But the flood, and when they had that, the last hurricane, the surge came in and wiped their whole house out. Everything they
Okay.
owned, done, car,
Oh
boom.
wow, wow.
So they moved to Philly. So they were with us for like 7 months after the other one finally moved out. So this is right now is the first time my wife and I have been alone in 42 years. So
Wow. Wow. And you guys aren't sick of each other yet?
no, no, no. We love this. It's like two plates, it's just easy. What's for dinner? Let's make it. Two plates, two forks, two knives. Clean up. Like we clean a room. It's actually still clean. I don't wake up in the morning with dishes in the sink that I didn't make. I turn the lights off. Why is that? Why is that? Why is it? Yeah, it's like every time. Let's do like always the lights in the bathroom are on and the fan. Why? You're not in there. I don't know.
Oh,
Turn it on.
you're one of those. Oh, okay. But I like that too. Sometimes I like my lights out, especially in the daytime. I just, there's no need for it. So I'm like that too. So I'll
Well,
come behind you and turn the light off. So why is that light on? And plus, light makes heat. The lights make heat.
well, I mean, it's just like you waste. Like as soon as they moved out, our electric bill went down $70.
Oh,
So it's like I mean, and then you're always buying extra food, and you get like and you got well, I don't eat that, and so we just we always said we want to eat. I mean, my kids are good. They've always worked. They've worked since they've been 14. They're not spoiled. You know what I
okay.
mean?
Hmm.
But it's always funny because if my kids need something, my wife will get it. And I always pretty frugal. It's like so like well, you need 200. Okay, I buy 200, $3. That's good. Hey, I want to buy some $50. Do you really need that? Like, wait a minute. Like, why is it like you can spend $200, $300 and then like not a problem, but if I want to buy something for 50, it's like, do I need it? Like, and like so. But
Because they're the kids. They'll always be the kids.
they're
That's
always the kids, exactly.
It doesn't matter how old they get. They're always the kid.
Always your child,
Always
man.
the kid.
So, but
So for the rest of the summer, what's your plans as far as music goes? Since you've traveled, you've played, you
well,
create. So now, what are you up to right now?
I'm into production, and
You are a lot.
did I send you that one about someone's heaven, the poem? Yeah,
No, you did not. No.
I'm sending that when you're done.
Okay.
I had this musical piece. I'm working like with a guy with a movie. I worked. I did one of his movies before. I used 7 of my songs in the movie.
Okay.
This is another movie he's working on. So now I'm working on like composing. So I'm doing songwriting, with other people and stuff like that
Okay.
as usual. But I want to get into being a composer, actually work on film. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like composing, like
I
the
love
music from.
that. I love that. I
So
love.
it's like Simtico and a lot of other things like that. But I have that. I love the sound of movies, like the music
Yes.
of movies. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep. I
You know,
do.
right?
Yep.
Uh, you know, uh, some of the movie. The one with Kevin Costner, the one with the Indian one. What's the? God, I can't remember the name right now. I don't know why. I'll send in a second. But the movie. But it's there's some themes that like are so. I mean, look at John Williams and Star Trek, and and
Yeah. Yeah.
Indiana Jones and all those ones. Da 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 da.
Yeah, those are theme songs you never forget.
Never
They're
forget. And so I mean, I'm not probably like that guy, but I'm good at like getting vibey scenes. You know what I mean? That kind of
okay.
stuff.
I
And
like.
that's what I'm really working on. So, that kind of stuff. And then, doing the Island Hopper's coming up, so I'm doing that again, BMI's thing. Um, I want to do, some more gigging. I do a lot of live streaming. Like there's one thing called Music of Scotland, and every time I play it, I get anywhere from 3 to 10,000 people to watch it.
Wow. So
23.
what do you do with that? How does that
Well,
make?
it just, just for me, it's just playing to get my name out there. You know what I mean? I mean, that Under the Wave is getting played a lot in Australia right now. They love it. So
Okay.
I got a couple stations down there, and it's getting around the world. Scotland, Ireland. I have a guy, Sean Coyle, on a station out there. He loves my stuff, and the thing is, like I've built, like like we have a relationship with like friends, and that's
Hmm.
what I've done with them as DJs. And so what happened is, these DJs now, like it's like so now if I get something new, they'll listen to it, or they sometimes they call and say, "What you got anything new coming up? Let me hear it, and let me, what do you got?" And I love that relate, but that's what about relationship that I worked on, as being friends and for the last couple of years, and that's what this people forget about this business because it's really about relationships.
I was gonna say it really is. Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
It's about relationship, and like I mean, I write it's like this one thing, like it's the songwriter thing, and like you'll get a national and write with a hit songwriter. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
write with hit songwriters all the time. It's like, yeah, I mean, but it took me 10 years to do it. It wasn't like so it wasn't like I walked up there and so that's the reality to it. So it takes you time, and you just have to build these relationships. I have some friends that this guy's written giant hits like Missing You and Stevie Nicks, and yeah, his thing is unbelievable. This guy, he said he's the Forrest Gump of music. I'll just tell you that he's the nicest guy. We're good friends now. We talk everything about other things in music. But um, he was 15 years old. He's going through an alleyway in L.A. and the door swings open, and there's this tall black guy in there, like and he's got a
Mhm.
robe on. He's like,
Mhm.
"Do you play guitar?" And
Mhm.
he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You want to do some studio work?" Sure. It was Ike Turner.
Stop it.
Like what? Like you know, like he goes, "He thought I'd be in the right place at the right time," and I could just go to get a smoke and just open the door, and then boom, and so yeah.
Well,
I was
here's the thing. I met Ike Turner years back, and he wasn't all that. He was all right. I was gonna be. He was all right.
yeah. I well,
He was all right.
every
I love to toot his own horn. I was gonna say it like that. And come to find out, he and I actually there were townhouses. I was in California, and we lived in the same townhouse complex, whatever you want to call it.
right,
And yeah. And then I used to run into him like in the furniture store, whatever. He was
right,
always there. So
right. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean,
tell me he was okay.
I'm a big Tina Turner fan.
Oh man, Tina Turner was amazing.
I
Was
mean,
amazing.
I mean that woman, like 80 years old, had great legs. It's like, damn,
Yeah,
woman. It's like, yeah. I
yeah.
mean,
That's all you can say.
Tina. I don't know how you do it, but and she was a Buddhist too. That was funny.
Yes, she was. Yes, she
Yeah,
was. Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
cool.
I
So
remember yeah watching her. Have you ever thought about doing like a cover album, just cover songs, some of your favorite cover songs?
I haven't yet because the thing is I've written 1,000 songs and I'm always writing. My brain never shuts off. I mean, it really doesn't. I mean, yes, my wife. But sometimes at 6 in the morning, I just get up and out of the bed. She goes, and she knows where I'm at because I'm coming in here. That's what like that poem thing. It's called. It was called someone's heaven. And I was in the morning and all of a
Oh,
sudden it came to me, be someone's heaven, and it's like be someone's heaven. You know what I mean?
I like that. I like that. I like that.
And it's like the first line is where love resides to cover their crimes. You know what I mean? And that's what I
Oh,
mean because like we've all have stuff, right? And,
oh,
but there's a whole poet to it, and it's all about being someone's heaven, being that safe place for people that they come in and they can rest their head, they can tell you what they want. You applaud them for their dreams, and you raise them up and that kind of stuff. And
oh
I've
God, sing me that.
I'm gonna send it to you. It's sweet. It's 2 minutes. It's only 2 minutes, so it's very quick.
That's
But it's
awesome. I love that. That's like okay, yeah, yeah.
so
Okay, one day, Tim, you got to have to get around to writing me an opening song because I don't have one. You got to get around to doing that for
oh,
me.
I'll do that for sure. Yeah, I will.
You will?
Well,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I did one for it was undercover detective. It was a sort of a stupid show. I think the lady passed away that did it. You know, she had she's gonna film me, and I was supposed to be in an episode, and never. And I went over there, and she had like a pocket camera. I go, wait a minute, I traveled all the way to the East Coast here for you to do this thing, and that's the shoot you're doing.
Stop it. No. Wow.
And my
Wow.
wife, Carol, was pissed, but we made the best of it. We had good ice cream, lots of meat, so we did it anyway. But we wrote it was a contest, you know, and so I wrote this thing for her. It was undercover detective and stuff like that. And
Oh,
it was really funny show. So you know, she was just yeah, and but yeah, I've done that, and I've done some stuff for some DJs like that. So tell me what you want to put in it. You know, you email me, say, Tim, I need to put this verbiage in it,
okay.
and I'll put you like a 30 second or probably 30 second, or do it a minute, and you can cut it off when you want, or you tell
Okay.
me how long you want it. You know what I mean? Most of the time, 30 seconds
I
is
was going
good.
to say 30 seconds sounds good to me. 30 seconds sounds good to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
And I've been yeah, and you know, I'm working with my friend Lonzo. We have another song called Midnight Prophet, which is a R&B track, and he's supposed to come in sometime this week. You know, we don't know, and try to finish it. We put the verses down, but we have to sum up the choruses and do some ad libs and stuff. But
okay.
he's great. So I still have that. You have the To All the People one, right? And Who Loves You More Than Me? You
Yeah.
have
Yep.
those. I
Hmm.
mean, I tell you that one. Who loves you more than me? You know, I say when you're with a girl and it's like romantic, put that song on. You're good to go. You know, that's the
Well,
sweetest.
look, if I like girls, that'd probably be okay. But since that's not my, I don't swing that way.
Yeah, I'm just telling. I'm telling this for the guys. You know, the guys for your
For the
women.
guys, except for the
Yeah,
guy. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right,
Okay.
cool. So all
Okay.
right, yeah. So
Tim,
that
Tim, you are such a diverse musician. If you guys don't know him, I suggest you look it up. Tim McGeary. He
oh,
is
thanks.
our friend to the show. Anytime Tim does something new, he has to come back. That's just what it is with him. He has to come back. He's gonna tell you a whole story, which I love. I know. I said I'm gonna go way past my time with Tim because I always do, and I always know it, and I always make time for that. So so we're all good. We're all
Oh,
good.
thank you so much. Yeah, it's so funny. You're not the only one. Another guy goes like, "There's only supposed to be now. I had to now. This is 2 episodes, or like I had to make it 3 episodes." It's like
That's pretty good. I'm gonna cut my probably it's probably into like three because you are just so you always say something that's going to capture someone and put them in a better headspace. You really
oh,
do.
thank you
You
so much.
really do. You just have that way about yourself. And for me, mine today was those in the morning. Those two uh,
Phrases.
yeah, those
I
two
do accept
phrases.
more
Yeah.
money than I mean, and I can't help attract more money into my life. Just say it 3 times a day, and do it with gratitude. I mean, when you say it, make the universe feel that vibration.
I have
And
more money than I need, and I'm going to
and I can't help but
and I,
attract more money
and I
to my
can't
life.
help but attract more money to me. Is that it?
To my life.
To
Yeah.
my life. I can't help but attract more money to my life. I have more money than I need. There you go.
You say no.
Three
You say
times, three times
you
a day,
say
3 times a day, all day,
you say it all day, but when you
all day,
say
all
it,
day. Okay,
say
you
it
said
with this huge thing of gratitude. I mean, look at your house. Hey, I have a house. I got a hot meal. I got running water.
mm-hmm,
I got a hot shower.
mm-hmm.
I've been places in the world, that for a half mile, one faucet, half mile, and these little kids are coming up there with little tin cans, getting water, bringing them
Wow,
home,
wow, wow.
and we're like, oh man, you know what? You know that.
We are a country full of complainers. Let's just be honest. We are a country full of complainers. Never ever happy about anything. And
Yeah.
that's the sad part about it. And have more than anyone.
Well,
Yep.
I will say, but let me say something too. We we are mostly good people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who gets on the news is everyone, the craziest person on the right and the craziest on the left. You know what I mean? Because they aggravate each other. And so, but I did a show up in the middle of Florida, and this guy's brother worked for CBS News, and he's
Okay.
done. His whole job was to look for awful stories for 20 years. He said his brother's the same now. Just look for bad stories because for some reason it's like your car wreck. I don't want to see it, and but you got to look right. So and it keeps people in because people watch it, and it puts fear and it put all that stuff in. most people. I mean, I will say, like when I was in, and when the towers fell, like, I was in 9-1. I was worked on ground zero for 2 weeks.
Oh, did you? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was right on the pile. We worked with the firemen and the steel workers there. We set up a mash tent. Um, so many random acts of kindness. I mean, people coming in, doing everything they can. They had like masseuses coming in, giving people like donating things like podiatrists. I mean, food. I mean, after one after the other. Then in Katrina, we went over. We had to go 2 days to get to because what they said was because we have these trucks, we can bring all the stuff. So they said, listen, we're going to send you to San Antonio. We flew 5,000 people out of New Orleans into Kelly Air Force Base. They
Okay.
had nothing. Okay. Okay. So they have porta potties and that's it. We're,
Oh,
feeding what
wow.
we can. So, okay. So we get out there, but we had 2 day rides. So our second day, the first day we stayed at this hotel. There was 20 families there. They had no money.
Hmm.
Some guys, and they had no place to live. The guy came over and says, I will, the guy came with his visa said, I will pay for all these people's room till they find a place to go.
Wow.
You never heard that on TV. When
Nope.
we
Nope.
we were in New York, the last day we were there was the Columbus Day parade. There was 900 people from Oregon that came to support New York. They got
Hmm.
900 people. Think about logistically putting 900 people together on planes and going into a city. They
Hmm.
did it, and they marched with us in the parade. It was so cool. We never heard that too,
Oh,
because
wow.
it's good, nice people, and
Yeah.
every time we Americans we are at our best when things are at our worst. When like there's a flood, everyone comes out.
Hmm.
I mean, when this hurricane hit here and this surge, people lost their, these neighborhoods were done.
Hmm.
You know?
Hmm.
I mean, every day people coming in. Hey, we have cold water. We have sandwiches. We have some fruit. These young adults would come in because you had to move the stuff out of your house. It was all moldy. Said,
Hmm.
do you need help moving your couches and your stuff? And they just come out and help you. Around the corner was this church. Hey, we got hot meals because no one had electricity. So
Hmm.
they put their grills out. Everyone hot meals for everyone in the neighborhood. That's the stuff I see all the time. So and another thing too is like I know this guy, and I'll end it with this, but this old guy in Texas one time said, he goes, Tam, he goes, you need the right and the left. He goes, you can't fly a plane with one wing and never get off the ground. I love that. I was there like, you're right. Look, there's great parts to the left. There's silly parts on the left. There's great parts on the right. There's bad
Yep.
parts on the right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's good parts to each. We got to take the good stuff from each and what's good for the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's what's good for the people, and that's what it is. And we have to like get out of this cult that's going around, and this theocracy thing that's scaring me because I do not want to be like Iran. You know what I mean? Because if they do this, where everyone's rights are stripped. You know what I mean? And like 'cause my sister's gay and is married. She's
Hmm.
worried. She's worried. Yeah, I mean, she's got a great job. Her
Uh-huh.
wife has a great job. They've been together like almost 20 years. They have a beautiful daughter. She's awesome, smart, intelligent. And then all of a
You
sudden,
know, it bothers me so much that, and I don't know if I'll ever get the opportunity, but I would just like to offer all those people who feel like they know what's best for everyone else. I would just like to look you in the face and say, who do you think you are to tell other people how to live their lives?
right?
That's
Yeah,
not your place. That's not your job.
I just think it's funny that people are like, well, God doesn't like you. If you think God of the universe, think about okay, the God of the universe,
Hmm.
okay,
Uh-huh.
and our little Milky Way, which we are like, a piece of sand on like, you know, 25,000 miles of beach,
Yeah.
okay, and the Milky Way is like a piece of sand on a 25,000-mile beach,
Hmm.
okay. That I'm going to do something to piss off God. Yep. Oh, he has never seen that before. Yep. He's mad at me. The thing is, what I don't like about sometime religion, they make God to man's level. Now,
Exactly. Yes. Yep.
he's not. He's not there. It's
He's
not.
not there. He's not there.
Don't,
No.
don't, I mean, like, and that's why I have a hard time. Some stuff like oh, I'm pro-life. Oh, really? Okay. Well, didn't God drown? And I tell the guy, well, didn't drown everybody when Noah, except for
Uh-huh.
Noah and the animal. Well, that doesn't sound pro-life to me. I don't know.
What
You know,
what I say is what I say, I said, whether you're pro life or whatever, we all will have to answer for whatever we do in this world
Exactly.
own, but no one else, nobody can stand there and say, but let me explain why they did it. We will have to own our own reasons why. So I don't need you speaking for me and telling me what my choices are right or wrong. Just deal with you, because dealing with you is a lifetime job.
Right.
Don't worry
Exactly.
about what goes on in my household.
Well,
That's it.
anytime the people like need an enemy, so like, okay, now it's this and that, and they like
Hmm.
this marginal, like, transgender, or drag queens, whatever.
Hmm.
I mean, I feel like, oh, drag queen. I go, did you ever watch Miss Doubtfire?
Oh God, I love it. That was one of my favorite movies. Miss
Yeah.
Doubtfire.
Guess what? I watched it. I didn't go gay. Okay, I'm just
Right,
telling you.
exactly. Yep,
I'm,
yep,
I
yep,
mean, and during World War II, the soldiers had all kinds of drag shows because it was like to entertain the troops. It was like
yep.
funny.
That
It's
they
just a
sure
joke.
did. Yep.
It's
Yep.
okay. It's not a big deal. And if you don't want your kids to a story time with a drag queen, don't send them.
There you go.
I mean,
Like, pay attention to what your kid is doing. That's your job as a parent.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, why? Like, now, and like in Florida now, the stance goes like, well, you can talk about Rosa Parks, but you can't say that she was black. I go, isn't like part of the story? Isn't like the whole story? I
Yeah.
mean, it's insane here. I'm like, he is, now he's got his thing. Like, if they don't like your religion or your sexuality or
Hmm.
whatever, they don't,
Hmm.
medical people like EMTs, paramedics, or doctors, they don't have to treat you.
That
Um,
I always struggle. I said, who do I dislike more, DeSantis or Trump? Yeah, I dislike them both. They're both despicable people to me.
yeah, they are.
They really are. They really are. And I can't see people getting behind either one of them, which makes me ask, what's wrong with some of the people in this country? What you guys are sick inside. There's something terribly wrong with you inside.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this one guy goes and he goes like, "Yeah, Trump could shoot somebody on the ground, and I still vote for him." And I said, I said, what the Porter should have said? Well, what if it was your daughter?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Well, yeah, would have been, yeah, it would have been a whole different story because it's someone's kid, it's
Yeah,
someone's husband, someone's wife,
yeah,
someone's son.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where we're at now. We're like, because and you're not a cult. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I mean, these people think that JFK, it's coming up on the 23rd, that JFK Jr. is coming back in Dallas again. They
Huh?
think they think JFK Jr., the one that died in the plane crash, is going to
Uh-huh.
come and be alive, and then Trump's going to be reinstated. And they believe it. They believe that Trump's still president. Like they said, well, he goes, well, how about Afghanistan? Like, those guys, because I guess that was Trump's fault then. Oh, no, 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 no. See, Trump has the good army, and Biden has. I go, what? Like,
Yeah, it's all these theories, and that's what makes
oh, I can't believe it. It's
when,
like,
when I heard them, and when the January when the Capitol
insurrection.
riots happened, when the
Yeah.
Capitol riots happened, and I heard them yell at 1776. I said, "Oh God, these people are crazy. They are out of touch."
Yeah.
I knew it at that point. I said, "Oh, this is something really bad." Yeah.
I mean, people go like, yeah, well, it's all left by, yes, Antifa. Well, it's not really Antifa.
Hmm.
No, there were CIA agents that, no, it's not them either. These guys got arrested. They're going to jail for some of them 14, 18 years. They're going to law for a long way. They're not going for like a little short time, you know. I mean, these aren't FBI agents. I mean, the whole thing is like, oh, the whole thing about like, because they're going after Trump. It's like, two-tier system. So the guy said, well, who are the people that got arrested? Like, during Trump's thing, you know what I mean? And yet, it was Trump's attorneys, the three of them, you know what I mean? Barr, Sessions, and the other one. And weren't they all arrested during your time? Yeah. Doesn't the guy, the FBI guy, you made him the head of it? Yep.
Hmm.
So how's it a two-tier system? No, it's a justice system. You did something illegal. That's the whole thing. Like, they could come after you. You're right. If I had secret documents,
Yeah.
and I took them to my house and wouldn't give them back, not me didn't have them anyway. You're right. My ass would be arrested. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Exactly.
And that's
Yep.
the difference between the Democrats and like we're like Hunter Biden. Well, if Hunter Biden did something illegal, arrest his ass. I mean, do it. I mean, if you're do something illegal, that's what happens. I don't do things illegal. People like, oh, it's like, so I'm not going to get arrested. You know what I mean? I try to, I don't. And so, like people, this whole thing of like, well, they did it to Trump. They could do it to anybody. You're right. Trump is look it. they have so much stuff on him, Jack Smith. That there's so many more indictments after this. I mean, they this guy is a pit bull, all right, number one,
Jack
and I
Smith, yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. He is.
and then when when Trump starts giving out his address and start going after his wife, he's like, oh, that's a good idea because now you got this guy. Now it's a personal missing. But
Yes.
you know what I mean? So now, so he's these guys are rolling over one by one. Giuliani, they're all rolling over because it's like, well, you can go to jail, or you can tell me what I need to know, and they're telling him what I need to know, and it's one
I,
after the other. And
I think that I think we're going to be very surprised at the information that comes out in this upcoming trial. And then and then he goes on the social and says like, well, Jack Smith just contacted me, so I'll probably be arrested again. Well, you probably will.
you will.
You
Well,
know, you're getting used to it.
you know that picture of the stuff on the floor.
Yes.
Okay.
And from his compound, yeah.
Now there's one with the red rim, a red thing on it. It's like the one keeper. It's like in the center. There's a ruler next to it,
Oh, yes. Yep. Yeah.
and it's like you see a red it's like a red outline.
Yes.
Okay, but there's white on the side.
Hmm.
That document it's only supposed to be red to the edges. So that means if there's a white on it, he copied that.
I said that. I said that. I said that. And the reason why he didn't want to turn them over, I said because I think he's done something with the originals. Those are only copies that he has. That's what I think. And so I said, you put all these people's lives in danger that are on missions, and you don't care. And
Yeah.
how could people say, well, he shouldn't be prosecuted? Why not? Why not? If it was any one of us that did that, they would have had us in long before he ever went in.
And
Long.
everyone that's worked with him, they all say the same thing. Don't ever let the guy be president again, dude. Ever.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, and these are super hawks, Bolton and Barr. These aren't like Democrats at all. These are like hardcore.
That the issue I have with people like Barr is that you knew what he was doing, and you went as far as you thought that you could without getting into trouble. And then when you saw Trump was going to get in trouble, then you backed off. So I understand what you're doing, but you still did not stop him when you should have. That's my problem with Barr.
Well, I think a lot of times, and I think a lot of those, and Oliver and the guy Stone, you know the guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So he had a whole thing and you can hear him. He talks about it, how he manipulates Trump. He goes, remember you said that thing, man, about that blah blah blah, and Trump's like can't remember. He goes like, yeah, I get it. It was work. That was genius, dude. That was genius. He's like, yeah, I guess that was really good. Yeah, you're doing really good, dude. He worked him like a puppet.
Because he's such an egomaniac that even when he said anything good about him, I mean, he just eats it up. He now, if ever there's a definition of a narcissist, that's right there. That's narcissism right there at its best.
Well, I want to know, when he buried his wife on the golf course, now she was cremated. Why did it take 8 guys in a coffin?
So she was cremated?
Yes, right away.
Well, that is news to me because I thought she was, yeah. So what you bury an empty coffin?
I don't know. Was it empty? Dude, I put nothing past this man.
Oh, I'm like you. I don't even because you know what? To be honest, I don't think the woman died accidentally.
I don't think either.
I don't either.
Blunt force trauma to the abdomen.
Yeah. Yeah. And she lived in that place for decades. And you mean, yeah, okay.
I don't know. Well, listen, I love America. I love my country. I don't care if I'm a liberal. I think I'm woke as hell. You know, I'm woke, son of a bitch. That's it, and I don't care. But I love people. You know what I mean? And I have friends that are big Trumpers, but we're still friends. We still talk like men. Not I'm not like hating anybody because that's what the problem is. Now it's like we're so polarized. Like no one can listen to anybody's stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm just me. It's just our stuff. We're right, totally right. That's it. And that's the one thing you say. You know what I mean? People,
that's the difference between you and I. Because at one point, if you're Republican and I can have a conversation with you, that's fine. But the people that are so behind Trump, and I'm looking at you because then at that point I think you're an idiot because Trump is an idiot and he's a liar and he's all that. And so for you to even try to argue on his side, I refuse to talk to you because that's too stupid for me. Because you've seen what he's done, and you still want to argue that? I can't.
Yeah, well, those kind of guys, facts are kryptonite. Like they go, yeah, the Biden's really kind of go, really? Because they just had a job thing. It was like almost 500,000 private sector new jobs last quarter. Oh, and the Infrastructure Act. Remember that one that Trump said he's going to do? He didn't do it. Remember the medical thing? He didn't do it. The wall didn't do it. Oh, Mexico paid us 1.5 billion. Oh, yeah, Biden did that. Oh, remember the CHIPS Act to get so on and on it go. They don't let. They call Sleepy Joe, but this guy said, listen, number one is you don't have to be the smartest guy in the room. What you have to do is be smart enough to get the smartest guys in the room.
There you go. Exactly. There you go. There you go.
And then good decisions are made. I like Buttigieg. I like that guy. I wish he'd be president.
I'm gonna say this one more thing, then I have to let you go. I was reading something the other day. This guy that he makes all these predictions, political predictions. And one thing he said was that he said, I think that Biden did enough, of course, announce he's running, but he says, I think that Michelle Obama will end up running, being a Democratic nominee. And I'm like, that would be fantastic.
Oof, man, it'd be like a landslide.
I said that would be fantastic, but let's see if that prediction actually comes to pass. You know, I do like Biden, but you know what? We all get old. Say you lose a couple of steps. So you know what, Biden, I like you, and I think he's done, good work from what he had to work with coming in.
Yeah, I mean, he came into this COVID thing, this mess. It was it'd be like, well, look at the inflation. It's the whole world, dude. It's like
the whole world.
It was in Europe. It wasn't not here. It's not. It's like, hey, I want to tell you. Here's the thing. Biden doesn't control the oil of the world. He doesn't.
There you go. Yeah.
It's like everyone's gas prices are up. You know what I mean? It's got, well, when it was Trump, it was like $2 a gallon. It's like, yeah, and I was in Europe, it was $8 a gallon, and no one was bitching. And trucks still ran, people still driving. I don't know.
Yeah, Tim McGeary, thank you so much for being here. I love our conversation. I have gone from vacation. I've gone from vacation to politics with you in the last hour. And getting some music in between there. So I love it. I love it. Anytime you come on, I always know I'm going to have a great time. And I'm always going to get some wisdom from you and some food for thought. And you do it right off the bat.
All right. Love you, El.
Thank you. Love you too. Okay. Tell your wife and tell her I said hi.
I will. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, Brianna here. Oh, there you go. Tim. Okay. All right, you guys. Woo. Thank you guys for tuning in. Brayden's having a meltdown, as you all can tell. Oh, Lord. Thank you guys for tuning in to Here's My Voice. You guys heard Tim's voice, my voice, a lot this afternoon. So thank you and peace out. Have a great rest of your week. Enjoy